Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm here continuing to work on my pocket reference journal, and I did pull it out, just what I've been working on, just to show you so far how many pockets I have in here. And I still have a ton more ideas or things I've seen on YouTube that I like to add. But I think this is going to be my last little signature that I'm working on. I have one more page. I have a signature kind of started from the other episodes that we did the last few times. And I think that'll still fit in here. And then I'm going to have to start another one, which I will start another one because, like I said, I have so many ideas. But I figured today I have one more page to do. And so that's 4 ideas, and then I'm going to call this one done. I will do kind of a walkthrough of the whole journal, and then I'm going to go ahead and make another one. I think I'm going to make it pretty much exactly the same, other than probably, you know, different cover and everything, but I'm going to do it the same way with this elastic bound inside, just because that seemed to work well for this journal, just because I had been moving the pages around. So I just wanted to let you guys know that the next video after this one will be just kind of a walkthrough of this whole journal. And I did decide to go ahead and add this little heart that I had in my stash that I did a long time ago. And then I also added it was like a Tim Holtz thing that I had with numbers on it, because I have like a number 2, number 3, number 4. So I figure at least there'll be at least a number 2 pocket reference journal. I just can't believe that I have this many pocket ideas in here for this first one. So it's kind of crazy. So again, today I have 4 more ideas. And the first one I have is kind of a basic one that I don't know, again, how I kind of missed adding this one in. I had all the pieces cut for like an earlier episode, and it must have gotten lost with my big pile, because I had tea-dyed a whole bunch of this paper for this journal, and it must have gotten lost in there because I was kind of organizing my scraps and different things, and I found it already set up. So I went through the whole journal, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't add this one, so I'm going to add it today. And so this one, like if I had a piece of paper, like your journal page, it's just a triple pocket, and it's going to look something like that on the page. Or if it was a bigger sheet of paper, obviously there would be, I don't think I have a bigger one, it would be a much bigger on the page if you had a bigger sheet of paper. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use this piece of paper for all the ones I'm doing today, or if I'm going to add another tea-dyed paper. So I'm not going to glue anything in until after the video today, but so, getting back to the pocket then, this is just a triple pocket. It's a basic pocket. You can do it horizontal or vertical. Again, that's kind of your choice. And so I have 3 pieces here. If you are wondering, let me just look at the length of these ones. They are a little under 7 inches, and they're kind of all different widths here. This one's almost 3. 3 3/4, and this one's about 4 1/4. So they were just scraps that I had, so I just cut them all to the same length basically. And I am going to add a little notch on these, so I have a 1-inch punch. And what I think I'm going to do, because I'm going to do them, I want kind of 1 in the middle and 2 on the sides. So I'm going to just turn this paper over. I'm going to try and punch both of these at the same time, just so that maybe they're a little bit more even in the final pockets here. So let me look at this. I think that's kind of a good spot. So that'll be like that. And then this one here is going to go in the middle. So I'm just going to kind of make a little mark in the middle. So there's my pockets, and I'm going to go ahead and glue those together. For these ones, you're just going to glue on the sides, on 3 sides. the side, two sides, and then the bottom. And then I'm going to take the next layer, which is that pink layer, and do the same thing for glue. And again, I'm just using up Hobby Lobby paper pads for this project. I'm not doing any final decorating because it's just an idea journal. And I'm also not really adding any tags to any of them or journal cards. I'm just trying to keep the bulk out of the journal pages for now. So a few of them I've added little tags, and my plan is to kind of put a couple of tags in the beginning pocket, and journal cards, just so I kind of have a few that I can move around in the journal if I'm wanting to look at how they look with tags or pockets, the tags in the pockets or journal cards in the pockets. So there's that one, and I think again this one would be really cute with some lace at the bottom, or you know, a little cluster on something. So again, and then when I would glue this down into a journal page, on this one too, I would put glue on the three sides and glue it down. And then this obviously then would be a pocket right there. So I have a couple tags sitting here. So you'd have a pocket here, here, and then again once you glue it down on a page. So that one is just a triple pocket, and I think this one's just kind of a basic pocket. So that's our first one for today. The next two that I wanted to do are gatefold ones. Gatefold, which is basically a fold that looks like a gate. And this one will be a gatefold with a pocket. There's all sorts of different versions. And so usually what I will do on these ones, again, you just take a scrap piece of paper. This is a rectangular piece. And I'm just going to find the middle, just so I roughly know where the middle is. And I'm just kind of just pinching just at the top, just so I can kind of visually see where it is. And this piece of paper measures about it's just a little shy of 8 inches by 5 and a little less than a half. So if you want to know the specifics. But again, I just am playing with scraps from when I've cut up other pages of this paper pad for this series. So you're just going to take your two sides and you're going to fold in. You're just going to meet in the middle. And that's what creates your gatefold. So this would be like a gatefold card. I make a lot of gatefold cards. They're kind of fun to decorate. Sometimes you can even put like a piece of paper here and you just glue it down on one side and then it lifts up. So that's kind of a fun way to decorate, or put a little cluster, or like I have a little typewriter sitting here. You could just glue this down on one side and then it flips up. And then of course we're going to put a pocket on the inside of this one so that it works for this series. So I have another sheet cut, and I think I eyeballed it right when I might need to take a little bit off the side here, but. So you just want to cut a little rectangular piece to make a pocket in the middle. That's, that'll fit in between your two folds. So that looks like that'll fit. And I'm just going to put a little notch in the middle of this one too. So I'm just going to figure out where the middle is. So I'm going to go ahead and I might ink this one just so it stands out a little bit more, just at least on the top. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. I've done all sorts of different versions of this one. You could also, in the middle, maybe put a belly band, and then put your pockets on the side flaps. You could put, I have some triangular scraps here. You could put, a little one on the side that's triangular shape. You could put another pocket, a horizontal pocket, on both sides. You can also leave this open for writing. So there's different versions. You can add lots of different things to this one. You could put a little top tuck too of a little triangle up at the top if you wanted the top and the bottom. And then you could have like a piece of paper stick into both of those. And then as far as closures go for this one, again, if this is my journal page, you would glue this down and you could make another pocket to the side if you wanted to, or the top if you wanted to glue it down. You could also use it as a floating pocket. And then what I would do there is you'd take a strip of paper, and this is just a scrap I have sitting on my desk. I think I'm going to do a tie closure on this one, but I wanted to show you the belly band. Like you can make a little belly band just by folding a piece of paper over it. And so I would fold this just over it, and I would cut maybe right there. You just need enough to kind of glue this down, and then you can have like a sliding belly band on here. You could also just glue this down onto the pocket. You know, so I would put the fold on the back, but you could just glue the belly band part onto the pocket. And then you could maybe then add a tab up here and be able to pull it off. So I kind of like that idea. That's kind of a cute idea. And maybe I might just leave that one because I think I am going to glue it in that way into my journal. And I think I will. I'm looking for my tab punch here. And I'm just going to use another scrap on my desk and make some sort of tab from it. I think I like that idea. The other one I'll do a tie closure because I have another idea for that one. So this one then, like I said, I'm going to glue this down on the top too, just because I am going to do this. I'm just not sure if this is the piece I want to glue it into. I just have to see what all 4 of my pockets turn out today because I didn't do any like pre-measuring or anything. So I don't know if they're going to fit on this small piece or if I'm going to have to find a 8.5 by 11 piece to fold in half and use that as my signature page. All right, so I just want to make sure that this is still going to fit in here, and then I might as well glue this belly band. Yeah, that works. I might as well glue this belly band together too. And again, I would totally decorate this front. I would probably even do like some rectangles on here. And then you can like do some journaling on that and add like a little flower or a little cluster or piece of lace on it. And then of course you decorate up the little belly band. So again, if you're just going to do this method, you would just glue this piece, put glue across here on the back and glue it down, and then you still can pull this one out to have your gatefold pocket for that one. So that's the second one. This is just kind of a gatefold with a pocket. And then the third one I wanted to do was kind of like a reverse gatefold. So you know how this one, the other one went this way? I'm going to reverse it and do it this way and then add a pocket. So again, I have a scrap piece of paper. I think this is close to my heart paper that I had in my stash. I just had some scraps of it. This one again is a little shy of 8 by almost 4. But again, it's just a scrap piece of paper. So you could do this one with almost any size rectangular paper. So again, you're going to do the same thing. Find the middle. Which I just kind of folded there, and just meet in the middle again with your 2 sides. You don't want them to overlap, but you want them to come as close as possible in the middle. And then I'm going to reverse it and go this way, so then that's a reverse gatefold. And then I'm just going to open this up, and I'm going to put my pocket right here. And again, just glue in on the sides and the bottom. And I'm going to line this up just above that fold, the bottom fold. So that's a reverse fold or reverse gatefold. And again, I would probably put some sort of like decoration on the front that would hold it down. You could just glue this on the top part and then lift up. You could put a little tab there and lift it up. Or I think I'm going to do a little tie closure. And so I do have a couple of circles sitting here that I punched out. I think these are 3/4 inch holes that I punched. And then I also have some hole reinforcers. These ones I took my distress ink and I just kind of inked them so that they're distress color. I usually have a stack of these, but this is what they look like. Normally they're little stickers. And I buy those at like an office supply store. I sometimes find them at the thrift store. And I'm just going to attach it onto the little circle here. And I'm just kind of using that as a little extra reinforcement. The circle, you wouldn't have to do that. And then I'm just going to use a little hole punch and I'm going to punch out the middle where the middle of the circle is. If you don't have the little sticker hole reinforcers, you can just do the same thing with a circle. It's not a, you know, there's different options. And so then I'm going to glue these down on here. Again, this is just kind of a little decorative thing. And there's other ways to make closures, but this is just one particular way. So I'm going to glue those down. I'm just going to eyeball the middle. I'm just going to do my best to kind of line them up on top of each other. And again, I'm going to take my hole punch. So here's what it looks like. And I'm just going to punch out that middle again. And I'm going to take some ribbon. And I'm just going to thread it through. I'm just going to guess here how much I need. I can always cut it down. Gonna thread it through the other side. And I'm just going to tie a little bow in there. So I'll go ahead and just trim a little bit of that one off. And so this one then would get glued on to your journal page like this. And then of course you'd open it up, you know, and then take the ribbon out and you can go ahead and, you know, add a tag or something or journal card inside that pocket. And when you glue this one down, again, you'd either have the option of a top pocket or a side pocket, just depending upon how you glued it down, or you don't even have to, you can just glue it straight. But I most likely would add a little top pocket, so then you would have a pocket up here too, besides the one that's on the inside when you open it up. So again, I'm just calling that one a reverse gatefold pocket. And again, it would look cute just with some little decorations on it. So that is pocket number 3 for today. And then the last pocket that I have is this one. I'm looking for my template here that I had. So when I originally started to do this series, one of the ones I had in my head to do was a zigzag pocket. So here was just a template that I made when I was thinking about doing this series. And you can put, you know, put a tag here, put a tag here, put a tag here, and then when you glue it down, you'd have a tag behind here. And all this one is a piece of paper that I cut a big triangle out of, and then I just divided it into 4 equal sections and folded it. But then after I had this in my pile to share with you guys, and I hadn't done it yet, I came across one of Gail Agostinelli's pockets, and she started off with the 12 by 12 one, and she was able to make 2. And I really liked the width and everything of hers. So I thought I would share that one with you for the zigzag pocket for today. So she starts off with a piece of 12 by 12 paper. And on the back, she measures up 4 inches. And so I made a little mark here. And then on the top down, she measures 4 inches. And then I drew a line in there just so you guys can kind of see that I have a line. And I'm going to cut on that line. I just wanted to show you guys where it was so that you could kind of see. And I'm actually going to have to go cut this on my bigger paper cutter. So I'm going to go do that real quick. And then we'll finish the pocket together. Alright, so now I am back and here's what this one looks like. And this one will make 2 zigzag pockets. And I do have in my notes that you want to probably use paper that doesn't have a direction on it, especially if you're going to use this piece to make another pocket, a zigzag pocket. Because like now when I turn this one the right way, all my roses are going to be upside down. But I'll probably use this on something else, but she usually makes 2 at a time, at least in the video that I watched. So now I am going to use a scoreboard just because it's going to make life easier. So I don't think it matters really which side you do this on. But you want to, she does 3, 6, and 9. She marks hers. And you could do this on the big sheet of paper, which I could have done that when they were both on here. I could have scored down before I cut it. I could have scored down if you know that you're making 2 zigzag pockets, you'd score it 3, 6, and 9. But I'm just going to save this in case I want to use that one for something else. So I'm only going to do it on this one particular sheet. So I'm just going to line it up here. I'm going to find my 3-inch mark. Do 3, 6, and then find my 9. And of course you don't have to have one of those scoring boards. It just makes life easier. And then you're just going to fold, and my paper might not have been quite 12 by 12. Sometimes these Hobby Lobby paper pads aren't quite lined up, but you're just going to do a zigzag fold, and you're just going to have to decide. And yeah, my paper really wasn't square to the world. I think sometimes that happens too when I tea dye it. So I'm just going to try to refold this just so it looks a little nicer. So that lines up a little bit better. It was just a little off with the way the one fold was, so then it put everything else off. All right. You know, so you could go like this, or you could reverse it and, you know, fold it this way if you like that look better, which I think I like that one better. So let's fold it this way because I'd rather have this as the bottom piece. So I'm going to refold this. I wonder why this paper is being kind of a bugger. Well, that one didn't quite line up as well as I had hoped, but I'm going to fix it here because you can see it kind of overhangs there. And I'm pretty sure that's just because of either the tea dyeing process or the paper wasn't quite 12 by 12. So I'm just going to fix it by going like this. And then I'm just going to fold this piece over, and I'll just use that as a little gluing thing. So that's what your pocket's going to look like. Hopefully yours turns out slightly better than mine, but it still looks good to me. So then here's your pocket, and you'd have a pocket here, 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 and then of course when you glue it down, you'd have a pocket back here. So now to glue this together, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue across the bottom and the side of this one. So that one should glue that together. And then to glue the next fold down, I'm just going to go across the bottom here. And since I had that little extra flap here on the side, I'm just going to put the glue there because it'll get wrapped around the back. And then I'll also need to add some glue on this side to close it shut. All right, so now there's our finished zigzag pocket. I think that looks really cute. And so here's my little piece of paper, journal page. So it would get glued in like this. But what I think I might even end up doing is, I think I'm going to cut it down just so it fits on this page because everything else fit on here. And then I can use this page that I had folded for my journal page. So where do I need to cut it down? About right there. Oh, but wait, if I cut it down, no, I'll have to find another piece of paper because if I cut it down, then I'll have to re-glue it, and I don't want to do that. So, so we'll just call that good. I'll find a piece of paper off camera to glue all my pockets in. So again, that is the zigzag pocket from Gail Agostinelli, and we did the reverse gatefold today, and we did just a normal gatefold pocket with, you know, a belly band closure, and then we did the triple basic pocket also. So we got four pockets done today, and I'm happy with that. So the next video, again, that you guys will see is just a walkthrough of the whole journal. And then I'm going to start another journal to keep on going because I still have about 3 or 4 more episodes laid out of different ideas that I had already kind of cut. So, yeah, I will definitely be starting another pocket reference journal. So thank you guys so much for going on this journey with me. And hopefully I will see you guys back again for the next episode. Until then, have a wonderful day and happy crafting.